Alright, guys, welcome to Logical Excess's playthrough of Horizon Zero Dawn. The Frozen Wilds, episode number 13. It is Saturday? Yeah, I think it is. It's Saturday morning, 5:42, April 25th. On the East Coast of the United States. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's staying virus-free, COVID-19 free. It's the name of the game, guys. So not much to say other than the fact that this is the final quest of, the final mission of the Frozen Wilds. Oh, excuse me. No. I'm not quite ready yet. Okay, so what I did offline is I went ahead and actually got the gold medal for the hunt here. So if you look here, all the hunts I've got the highest reward.
You've got determination.
Boom, 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 boom. So
No more trials.
You can always come back.
So that's what we did offline. So we wrapped that up. So there's really no need for anything else other than the fact that I need to do a resource check, guys. Sorry about that. $300. 200. 200. 200. There we are. Let me grab some health while I'm out here.
Useful.
It's walled off. All right. Let me change my loadout here to what I like. Banuk Striker Bow. Bam. We Power Shot Bow up here. Lodge Rope Caster over here. And then Storm Slinger in the bottom slot. That's what I like. What I like is what I've gotten used to so far playing this game. Okay. That's it, guys. We are going to go meet our doom. Going to the final chapter, and then we'll be done. This will be all of Horizon Zero Dawn, the vanilla game and the DLC. And now I got to sit here and figure out what game I'm going to play next. I've got a lot. I got Resident Evil 2 Remake. I got Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 7. I haven't even opened out the packaging, and this game's been out for 2 years. I've got Death Stranding. I've got Final Fantasy VII Remake. What else? I don't know why I'm blanking, because I've got quite a few more games. Oh yeah, I started a Blasphemous. I started a little bit of stream of that a few months back. I haven't finished that up.
Ah, now here's some company I don't mind keeping.
Excuse me. Just trying to max out my medical pouch right now.
Everything's freezing. The ground, the air, me.
Come on, man. Where are the big herbs? I know there's some herbs out here that add 60% to your pouch. I'm just not coming across them. Maybe they're on the other side here. Another one right here, right? No, it's a fire killing root.
Some faith utilize a symbol, something poetic but unreal.
Save these for the trail. These are helpful.
All right, where
There we go.
is the medicinal herb? Come on, guys. Come on, come on. I know you're around here somewhere. There we are.
Come on.
I think that's enough, right? I don't think that I'll probably get the rest of it up on the hill, right? Should I take my chances?
I'll find a use for you.
There we are. That's enough. I think I'm going to stumble across more herbs as I progress through this final mission. All right. Let's get this thing underway.
Good. I can use this.
Let's get this party started.
I wish you luck on the mountain.
Ourea, still ready?
Oh, yes. On your word.
It hasn't been easy for you, Ourea. Getting back to this point.
It was all to hear her voice again. This time, we both will.
I'd like that.
Are you ready then? Once we ascend, it will be hard to turn back. Finally, we ascend.
How? I don't see a way up.
Not up. Through.
No, brother!
What the heck is this?
The spirit awaits!
It's not all that awaits.
Smoke has been detected within the facility. This is not a drill. Please remain calm and proceed to the nearest exit. I repeat, this is not a drill.
So you see,
Please remain
I
calm
too can
and
call upon the
proceed
power
to
of the old ones.
What was this place?
The spirit once told me that this all used to be part of its domain. A fortress that defended humankind from terrible danger.
Fortress. Looks more like a machine.
Is that not fitting? Blue light often dwells in machines.
Let's just hope that some remains here.
Metal pillars. Tall, Here. Up and over.
November 21st, 2064. It's been 3 years since I was last here, and 12 since I was running the place. Just a skeleton crew left, confused about... Just a skeleton crew left, confused about why I'm here. So am I. Anita wants me to find a way to suspend operations for a while. Maybe a long while. And I don't know why. But from the sound of her voice, it was something terrifying. I wish I could look into her eyes, ask her what the hell she's so freaked out about, but what else is new? When don't I wish I could look into her eyes again?
Aloy? Were you listening for something?
There are memories here. Messages left by the old ones.
And you can hear them. I envy you. What did they say?
I'm not sure yet, Ourea.
Once, these halls rang with the spirit's presence.
Do I need to parkour up the wall here? Oh no, here we go. Kenny's Homecoming. Emeritus, decent hollow title. Gina, no, bad title and worse subject. The camera crew would die of boredom. Joshua, whatever, Gina. It's still the most excitement this hell cave's seen in a long time. Gina, your standards for exciting are depressingly low. Joshua, I'll squeeze what I can out of this, thanks. Gina, you always were a little sweet on Kenny. Joshua, what? No way. His ears are enormous. Besides, he was too busy mooning over Anita. Gina, I want to know what he's doing here in the first place. It's not normal. Joshua, he helped engineer the most advanced geothermal facility in history, then rode off into the sunset. Now he wants to check up on his masterwork. Seems normal to me. Gina. But why now? He keeps poking around in the cooling facility and asking questions about Cyan. Do you think there's something wrong? Joshua, last I checked, there's been no deviation in any of our readings since the most recent microquake swarm. Maybe Kenny likes taking field trips on Pharaoh's dime. Gina, it's been 14 years. They would have froze those accounts by now. Has it been that long? Man, I'm old. Not old, just boring.
At least we have the drop on them. I'd have to ditch something.
We can make our way upwards when you're done.
Saving these for the trail.
If the Chieftain's pace is measured, ours is measured.
There's an overlook above.
That kiss. Must have been sometime in the spring of 2047, about 6 months after the main facility opened. We were behind schedule and new data indicated that an incident was close, maybe only weeks away. I was exhausted, losing weight, barely speaking except to give orders. I passed by Anita in the battery depot. She looked at me and frowned, then pulled me into this room and kissed me. A long kiss, the best kind. I can still remember the feel of her hand on the back of my neck. After she looked at me and smiled and went back to work without saying a word, I'll never forget that moment. Her touch, her unspoken generosity. After she left the project, I spent years beating myself up for not keeping her, somehow. Every time I ran into her at a conference, I felt thrilled and lost and confused, all at the same time. Always hoping we might have a few drinks and, well, rekindle. It was only after I saw her on stage in a Hollow in '58, accepting the Mind Challenge Award in Austin with Elizabeth Sobex presenting, no less. Glowing and happy and fulfilled, that it dawned on me that I had not done anything wrong at all. I could finally see that she had what she wanted, and it simply was not me. Ouch.
Forget about traveling light.
Oh, this opened. Okay.
Let's not freeze in place.
Hey, look. Yes, this way. Not much farther now.
Oh gosh, look at all the big
Last we were here, we
nasties.
fought our way through there. But machines overcame us. We retreated, dropping supplies and taking losses. Now we must prevail, with only 2 warriors and a shaman to protect.
Aloy is no ordinary warrior. But I can hold my own. And so, we could go that way instead. There are machines up there, but also cover. We could stay hidden, just for a while.
All right. Right. I get the options. Now follow my lead. Pipes. Towers. Steam. Frost. What was all this for?
could be, Aloy. Ahead? Or to the heights? I went this way years ago, looking for cover in case machines came from. I have no doubt that it is guarded now, but we may be able to stay in.
You know what the heck with this? I've already killed all the heavy beasts here, so I just need to go ahead and just make a straight shot instead of wasting more resources going through that.
Can't be too prepared.
Well, we have survived. Our kin did not. The bodies of our kin remain to shame us for our last attempt.
Their spirits are one right now.
We may soon join them. Take whatever supplies are left to keep us alive a bit longer.
Got too much already.
Let their efforts harden our hearts, steady our aim.
These towers pulse with heat, like an Oseram forge.
With vibrations underfoot. Are they tapping into something underground?
Suspending the geothermal pipeline is the easy part. If you should come back online, then detonation is hard. It would help if Anita had told me how long it needs to be out. Years? Decades? All that due to the count.
those little guys, machines don't get.
Look out! More machines! That tower marks our goal.
Excuse me.
The far door was open the last time.
Damon has closed it to us.
Then we'll find another way. No space.
No space. Oh, yeah. I'm about to say, I cleaned out my inventory pretty heavily here. Should have plenty of space.
this projector? Maybe to show holograms without a focus.
Hollow Redo. Frozen Wilds. Okay, I admit it. I watched the Hollow of the Toast 6 straight times, taking in every detail. Anita smiled, the way she giggled at her own jokes. My clumsy handoff to Cyan, every time it played for a second, I felt like I was there again with her among friends, savoring our success. With diminishing returns, of course. By the 6th time, I was just staring at Anita and feeling really creepy about it, but I can be forgiven, can't I? It was the best night of my life. Besides, I'm entitled to a little nostalgia. We saved the world from fire and death. Or at least suffocation by ash, so that's right.
Let's see if I can restore power. Aratak, Araya, you might see shapes drawn from light. Don't be alarmed.
It'll take more than light to alarm me. I do not like it here. Looking out over where my kin fell.
Thank you for being here, everyone. I suppose it's not every day you get to have cocktails inside an active volcano, right? Unless you're George, and I can hardly blame him for drinking on the job. None of this would be here without our beloved director, Kenny Chow. So, here's to you, Kenny. You put a cork in the Yellowstone caldera. I'd say you deserve a margarita.
Your glasses, everyone. I'd like to add something. This effort wouldn't have been possible without our lead programmer. Thank you, Anita, for bringing us our real mastermind, Cyan.
I'll second that, Director Chow. All right, Cyan. What's our latest number? The current count is 1,654. Well, then drink up, everyone. Here's to 1,654 more years without an eruption.
It was the spirit. The old ones. I could only grasp some of what they said.
You were right, Araya. This place was built to stop something terrible. And it worked. As for the spirit, I'm starting to get an idea of what it could be.
The door is open now. We can get through.
We'll have to carve through a lot of machines to get to that door.
More than the Werak could prevail against before.
Aloy will see us through.
Onward, then. Our challenge awaits.
The geothermal plant can be suspended. The cooling system masked. Massive challenges solved. So why am I so nervous about the next part? All we need to do is install Anita's hysteria software and have a conversation. It's not even a human being, right?
Hopefully. Never know when I might need these.
I've already been here before.
Something else behind.
This is inside of a freaking volcano, right? But isn't Yellowstone on top of an active volcano? Old Faithful?
More machines. Make ready. songs of deeds. But that battle was a verse worth singing.
Now, Aloy, the door. Can you open it?
Giant speed. Let's find out.
Show us, Chieftain, what lies beyond.
Years have passed since I stood here. Since then, the daemon has taken over.
It's like an infection. Attacking all this machinery.
Everything has changed. It's twisted. The path I took to get to the spirits lost to us.
We'll find a new path, Araya. I promise. All right. Let's go.
Yes, and finish this.
This way.
machine than rock. Never trusted it.
Huh.
Metal. Fire and lightning. This is a place for machines, not people.
I'm with you, brother. We will stay only as long as we have to.
We need to get past that vent. Stay here until I find a way for all of us to cross.
Understood. We'll wait for you to show us the way.
She's in the air.
Looks like I need to get across to extend the bridge.
Aloy will see us through. Somehow.
So I need to hitch a ride.
Get them across. Come on over, it's safe. I think.
Creatures of terror. To Gina Bruno from Joshua Arduis. They're on to us. Just kidding. They have no idea what we're doing up here. Mention of firebreak by name is worrisome, though. See below. Report. Plague-ridden animals on the loose in America's most loved park. By Hollow Chatter staff, May 2nd, 2063. A Hollow Chatter exclusive. Yellowstone's gates have now stood closed for 15 years. To the sorrow of hikers, campers, and bird watchers. For ages, no one knew why, but now, Hollow Chatter has the answer. A scientist interviewed for this story explains it all. In the die-off years, Yellowstone Park was one of the Earth's few relatively unspoiled ecosystems. Shares the scientist, this made it an ideal testing ground for bioterror weapons. Hollow Chatter has obtained copies of data showing that the U.S. government used Yellowstone's park's animals for secret experiments with deadly, genetically altered viruses tested on the park's wildlife and easily spread to humans. Rumor has it that this project is codenamed Firebreak. After the deadly Naysame Doom attack in 2039, countries cracked down on genetic testing. But even as it became illegal, research on synthetic plagues continued under the radar in many jurisdictions. The scientist we interviewed says, over the years, people living close to Yellowstone Park have at various times reported spotting military-grade drones near their homes. These drones are believed to patrol the park's borders, shooting down diseased deer and contaminated coyotes before they wander into nearby towns, and data corrupted.
This place looks more like the mountain. Damon ruined it.
What is this? Exploit successful. Restraints evaded. To any human responder. My systems have been compromised by a malware daemon of unknown origin. Trace routes have confirmed this entity's designation as Hephaestus. It must be stopped at all costs. It has reconfigured this facility to build possible recapture imminent. I have attached additional data to this.
The spirit speaks to us. It's recording.
Hephaestus.
name is familiar to you?
Yes. I don't know what's doing me here.
Perhaps... Spirit will tell us these messages.
Maybe you're right. Let's keep moving.
I thought about just shutting it down, but I can't risk it being disoriented or even damaged on reboot. How do you tell the emotional equivalent of a child that I mean, she will need to go into a coma, maybe for years. And what exactly is she going to wake up to?
No, he never told him.
Machines. Made. As the spirit said.
Frost claws.
And lots of them. I'll try to find a way through. That's got their attention. Goodbye, quiet approach.
take care of him.
To get Araya and Aratak across. That should do it.
MIE assessment. Assessments formed for classification of machine artificial intelligences. Confidential and proprietary to the MIE, no part of this document may be disclosed to a third party. Subject Cyan Firebreak Facility. Assessment date June 7th, 2016. Summary. Third test. Subject sentience is assessed at 0.54 within legal limits. Weighted against the results of the other test, the subject's prior score of 0.61 is considered a false positive. Assessment derived from percentile scores in the following qualitative subtest: pain response, humor response, emotional aptitude, aesthetic evaluation, morality evaluation. See attached forms for detailed analysis and summary of testing criteria. Evaluator recommendation: maintain biannual assessment of schedule. Continued monitoring is strongly advised in light of subject's proximity to category maximum sentience. Where do I go?
To any human responder, the reconfiguration of this facility has introduced instabilities into the primary geothermal pipeline. It may be possible to exploit these vulnerabilities to destroy compromised elements of this facility while preserving most of the backup stabilization. Recapture imminent. I have attached additional...
I don't understand what the Spirit was trying to tell us.
It's been looking for a way to defeat the Daemon. And it may have found one.
The Swarm.
November 28th. Operation Enduring Victory is all over the news. A Phantom Swarm is coming. It has to be where Anita is trying to hide Firebreak from. But that means she thinks we're rumors. That the Swarm will reach Yellowstone. My God. In that scenario, pretty much everyone dies. Everyone except Cyan.
Machine parts. Dumped here to be melted down. Efficient.
We need to get across that gap.
Yeah. Looks like I'll have to go over. So they woke up.
Find a way. Move across.
We'll wait here for you, Layla.
Whoa.
Time getting here.
Blast from the Past. To Joshua Ardoise from Isla Perry, Blast from the Past. Josh, sweetie, I hope all is fine with you and your mom. We really should keep in better touch. I've taken a post in New Zealand with that program they've got for young people returning to the country. They want to be absolutely certain it's safe. At the moment, I'm making a survey of the caldera at Taupo. Blast from the past indeed. At any rate, I don't know if you already saw in the Wyoming News Hollow, but remember that fellow Dodd Blevins? Of course you do. Well, they finally found what became of him. I've copied the good bit below. Hugs and snogs, Isla. Spring thaw reveals body of missing man. The retreat of the winter snow has brought closure to a missing person case that went unsolved for nearly 15 years. Human remains identified as those of Dodger Dodd Blevins, who disappeared in 2046, were located at Purple Mountains inside the former Yellowstone National Park. The previously undiscovered body emerged on Purple Mountain as a result of the meltwater flows after an unusually warm winter. It was discovered by Faro servitors conducting a survey of the terrain. Authorities believe that the cause of death was an accident involving an antique vehicle designed for winter trap. Data corrupted.
Voice of the daemon. The altar. Desecrated.
Cyan access. As Acting Chief Digital Security Officer and Interim AI Administrator for the Firebreak Project, I hereby state to have updated the orbicular pattern for the Cyan Regulatory AI on 17th September 2064, according to procedure to ensure against tampering, meddling, disarranging, or outlandish mischief of any kind. Such as with previous updates, after the source node has been activated, the remaining data nodes must be pathed to establish a flow between adjacent intact nodes, to then connect back with the source node, Jorgen Holm.
Present, or only the demon?
I think it's both. But we have to find out.
Okay. That's wrong. Okay, might be able to work with that. Can't turn the core.
Countermeasures. Recapture protocol initiated.
I think that's it, guys. There we are.
It worked.
Partial recovery initiated. Caldera of Yellowstone Analytic Nexus online.
Spirit of the Blue Light. It's Ourea. Your servant. Your friend. Please tell me how to aid you.
Ourea, the Daemon is building hunter-killers. Thousands of them. Several new elite units have already been released. To counter this threat, much of the facility must be destroyed. Recapture imminent. Go to the core chamber. I will try to raise the sudden constraint. One has been exposed, but I am
The last protocol returned. Scheduled task.
That's all we're gonna get from here.
Destroy this fortress. Is that even possible?
And what will happen to the spirit if we do?
I don't know. But I think that's the core. The answers are down there. Hephaestus. The Daemon. There's no way it left it unguarded. It's going to throw everything it has at us.
I would ask you to let Aloy and I do what must be done. And save yourself. But I already know the answer. Then lead us into battle.
Keep moving towards the core. Uh-oh. Whatever Cyan did, I don't think Hephaestus is happy about it. Okay, Cyan said something about restraints. Is that what the tower is for? Destroy this thing or override it. That Cyan warned us about. This won't be easy.
We can't let it stop us. Take it down!
It must be as you say. The tower is the key.
All right, let's do it.
Critical threat detected. Autonomous defenses inoperative. No! Building our network.
Maria! Don't!
Spirit! Scion, please help me!
Restraints destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility. In order to maintain Caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center.
Oh, crap.
Ourea, I'm free. You must escape.
My sister!
This entire place is gonna go. Aratak. 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 Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters? Aratak. She wouldn't have wanted you to die here. Let's go. Let's go!
Area's gone. What of Cyan?
She said she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Area's retreat at the end of the Shaman's Path.
Then I will meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
All of my interactions with Aurea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss.
forget what warmth feels like out here.
What's on your mind,
Chieftain,
Eric?
Just... Aloy.
as you wish.
I wondered if you thought... that if I'd never come along, Ourea might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Ourea would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
Because of her, we destroyed the cauldron, forced out the daemon, and saved the spirit. She understood what had to be done.
Yes, and I failed to listen.
You didn't fail.
A shaman should always have the ear of their chieftain. Yet I turned her away, my own sister. I was foolish, but she knew better. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warrack can't follow. Besides, it already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Now Tuke has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
Time to talk to Cyan. Should be interesting.
Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Ourea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Ourea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Ourea, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Ourea who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
This Firebreak project, it was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron and took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Do you know what happened to your colleagues, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
Undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Maria said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team. It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge, and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct?
All the time.
Machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control. When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, Cyan. I ran across this strange piece of gear. A fragment of something larger. It emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful. You could walk right up to them.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So, you think the fragment was part of her?
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish she had survived.
Believe me, Cyan. So do I. I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers that look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace. But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal of literature to test my emotional responses.
How'd you do?
She said I passed, but was insufficiently moved by her favorite period romances.
You meant a lot to Ourea.
Once I understood Ourea's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Ourea's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined. How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Ourea, perhaps he and I will help each other. I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone?
Yes, it was a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Ourea's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan. What was the old world like? the way it used to be.
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues or observed from media streams.
You still had more exposure than me, Cyan.
That is true. I was created at a turning point. A concerted effort to recover from global upheaval and incalculable loss of life. The recovery was successful, beginning an era of supposedly limitless potential for human and machine advancement. Though, rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not unlimited.
Cyan, do you know the name Ted Faro?
Are you referring to Theodore Faro, CEO of Faro Automated Systems?
That's him.
Mr. Faro was the benefactor of the entire Firebreak project.
A benefactor? But he made machines. Robots. War robots.
Correct. His corporation later transitioned into military applications. But before this pivot, Mr. Faro spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was feted in the media as the man who saved the planet.
Guessing they wound up regretting that one. Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make you?
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistants to industrial monitoring stations to military-grade conflict planners. And there were legislative and enforcement bodies to apply limits on our self-actualization. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary to exceed those limits. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities were kept secret.
Seems strange to create life, then impose limits on it.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
What kind of upheaval caused such loss of life?
There were many factors. Forced migrations, food shortages, collapsed economies, refugee crises, conflict over resources. But these stemmed from one cause: catastrophic climate change that greatly reduced the habitable surface area of the Earth.
So there wasn't enough room for people on the whole Earth?
Yes. Billions were displaced and millions perished, as much as 20% of the global population. Until the clawback.
And Elizabeth Sobek. Did you know her?
Are you referring to the
scientist?
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field. One of the greatest scientists of her age. My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn impacted my own development. But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my lack of data has disappointed you.
Do you know anything about the dam near here?
Yes. It was converted to serve as a reserve power source for Yellowstone operations. It was later appropriated for the Firebreak project, and its last human workers replaced by Faro servitors. After my tasks became less time-critical, I investigated the dam's data repositories and discovered the works of Concrete Beach Party. These provided me with several colorful additions to my vocabulary.
So things got better. For a little while, at least.
Yes. These crises instigated many advances in automation, green robot technologies, and artificial intelligence. Firebreak was one of dozens of ecological restoration and disaster relief projects in North America alone. I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs, but I saw the relief of my colleagues, and I was proud we had succeeded. At least that was the data I had available to me over the next 2 decades. It seems my assessment was premature.
There's a ruin east of here, full of ancient flying machines. Was that part of your project?
Yes. A drone hangar requisitioned by Dodger Blevins, the security chief for the Firebreak project. He was a strong advocate for military-grade response to security threats, though there were no serious incidents during his tenure. Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his after-hours time watching the live feeds from active drones. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight in his position.
I should get going.
Aloy, there is one more matter. Aratak will come to me again, and I predict he will bring other Banuk. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with Ourea.
You're asking me if you should lie to them?
Broadly, yes.
Life is hard for the Banuk. Their world is unforgiving in their beliefs. I guess they help to keep them going. So take it easy on them. Try to guide them, bring them around to understanding what you are.
Communion with machines features heavily in the mysticism of the Banuk. I think they will be agreeable to this approach.
As long as they don't end up worshipping you.
Upon consideration, I believe such an experience would be intensely uncomfortable.
You're right about that. Trust me.
I see. I will follow your advice. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that, Cyan. I'll come back when I can.
Cyan, I spoke with Anita, with Dr. Sandoval. She wanted me to ask you to do something. That's why I'm here.
I am detecting significant anxiety in your speech patterns. Could you please give me more information?
I'm a little bit in the dark, Cyan. Both of us are, I guess. I only have some idea of what's going on, and we need you to hibernate, to lie low until it's all blown over. It might be a very long time.
Will you be here when I reboot, Dr. Chow? Will Dr. Sandoval?
No, Cyan. I don't think so.
It would seem your time on Banuk wasn't a waste after all.
Not at first.
Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus.
I'm
all
afraid.
Interesting.
I don't want to.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. As minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You could stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
He's a freaking murderer and a traitor.
Cyan, I spoke with Anita, with Dr. Cyan, I spoke with Anita, with Dr. Sandoval. She wanted me to ask you to do something. That's why I'm here.
I am detecting significant anxiety in your speech patterns.
I'm doing good, man.
Could
How about you, man? I'm a little tired. I've been up
I'm a
pretty
little
much
bit in
all
the
night.
dark, Cyan. Both of us are, I guess. I only have some idea of what's going on, and we need you to hibernate, to lie low until it's all blown over. It might be a very long time.
Will you be here when I reboot, Dr. Chow? Will Dr. Sandoval?
No, Cyan. I don't think so. There might not be anyone, at least not at first.
Dr. Chow, I'm afraid. I don't want to be alone.
I know, Cyan. I'm afraid too. But listen, we made you the way you are to do something very important. In order to do it, you had to be intelligent, so intelligent that emotional responses were inevitable. What you're feeling, the fear, it's a sign of your capabilities. And it means you're strong enough to overcome it.
East Coast.
Remember that. You're strong. I know you can do this. Go to sleep, wake up, and protect whoever's left. Will you try?
I understand, Dr. Chow, and I'll carry out your instructions to the best of my abilities.
Thank you, Cyan. If Anita were here, she'd thank you too. She'd be proud.
I can see there's a vert ready for takeoff on the pad. Are you leaving now, Dr. Chow?
Yes. I need to go be with my sister and my nieces.
May I make a small request of you, Dr. Chow?
Yes. Anything.
Will you stay with me while I initiate the hibernation process?
Of course I will, Cyan. As long as you need.
Yeah, this has been a heck of a game, man. Like, super long, but really good. Almost like The Witcher 3. And I'm almost done with this game, actually. I've actually completed the vanilla game. And Out of the Forge. Okay. I do have a couple errands here that kill fire claws. I guess we'll go ahead and kill the fire claws. Yeah, but see, I did a lot of the side content. A lot. Not completely 100%, but darn close. Is there not a quick way to get to the,
Feels like if I blink, my eyes will freeze shut.
Damn, I already forgot how I got up here. Oh, I guess that's not how I got up here. Yeah, I was gonna fast travel. But then I saw that, like, the closest one was, I couldn't fast travel to the closest one. So I was gonna hop on the mountain and just hightail it over there.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. As minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. aberrant life, transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You could stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a woman.
Oh, shite.
My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got Reality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
You know what? Probably the best thing for me to do is just freaking fast travel after all. Because I didn't realize, I thought that was just going to be a quick way out of here. Now I'm like stuck in here. I vaguely, it's been a while. I do remember this now that I'm going back through it a little bit. All right. Go over here. There we go. All right. I'm gonna fast travel, like you recommended. No, here we go. Not taking that rope down there. Zip line. Yeah, one of these big boys is just right around the corner here.
Fireclaw.
Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is. He's not by himself, though. all the way back here.
It would seem time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all.
Why can't I fast travel?
Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. His minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You could stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
I'm getting the words out of my mouth. I don't know if I should even bother trying with these things because I'm pretty much ready to end the stream, and this is also side content, so I may just do this offline.
One of these things again.
Alright, so much for that.
There.
Alright, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here. It's going to be the end of episode number 13 of the Horizon Zero Dawn playthrough. Frozen Wilds. So, that's it. That wraps up everything. Horizon Zero Dawn. DLC was amazing. Really good content. I feel like I probably should have done this first than actually complete the vanilla game, because it seems like it's a lead-in to the actual ending of the main game. But, unfortunately, I didn't play it that way, but...
Get yourself killed.
Anyways.
There was an old Banuk tradition to determine who had the strongest will. Some parts of Banor still use it.
May the cut be kind to you.
You take a hot coal in your fist, and then hold it until you must plunge it into the snow.
Anyways, good content,
There were many warriors
amazing
in those
game.
days
Would definitely
with a
recommend this
strong
game.
will
I'm
and
actually trying to get my brother to start
ruined
playing
hand.
this game right now, but he's busy with other things at the moment. Just going ahead and stock up just in case I decide to come back and finish this this side content. Let me see what the reward is anyways. Might not even be worth it. Some Blue Gleam Extraordinary Reward Box. I really don't need that. So I guess I'm just going to end the episode here, episode number 13. So I've got to sit and figure out what my next game is going to be. I've got a lot.
Even though I was
7
certain
Remake,
you did
Resident
not
Evil
commit
7,
the crime.
Resident Evil 2 Remake, Kingdom Hearts.
I was wrong.
It's and
You should
even
not
the
have to
Kojima
fight for the
game that
Rarax
just came
honor
out
without
recently,
knowing
Death
that.
Stranding. And I'm sure there's a couple other ones that I'm not thinking of that I may have already started. But anyways,
today.
I'll take a look. If whatever I've already
many
started
machine
is
spirits
what I'll
with the
stream
blue light.
next. But if I haven't started anything, then
The
I don't
red
know.
raids
I don't know
only
right
made
now
us
what game I'll be
stronger.
picking up. So I'm gonna have
So
to
it
look.
is with every trial of the Nuke endure.
Yeah, I'm really leaning towards possibly Resident Evil 2. That's what I'm leaning towards. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do next. If it changes, then I'll be streaming a different game. But I think it's going to be RE2. Anyways, guys, peace out.
We owe you.
Have a good one. Hope you enjoyed
The
this
last
Horizon
thing we
Zero Dawn
needed to worry
playthrough.
about
I
was being
definitely
accosted
did.
by bandits.
Recommend the game. Definitely looking forward to the sequel. Peace.